All right, good evening, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron back here once again. I'm here to give you guys the evening forecast update for today here. So, first and foremost, if you guys can do me a big favor, if you hear this video today, share it, get it out for you guys. I know we've been having some problems with people contacting us saying, "Are you guys still doing forecasts and stuff like that?" That is because Facebook has basically cut our engagement in half. So if you see this video today, share it, get it out there, guys. I would really appreciate that. Also, we do have the risk for the potential of seeing some isolated severe weather for tomorrow. And I know a lot of folks will contact us personally saying, "Hey, where did this come from?" No one was talking about it the last couple of days here. So just get this video out, guys. I really appreciate if you guys did that for us here. So with that being said, we've got nothing going on across the radar at this point. This will change over the next 24 to 48 hours here. Got a couple of scatter showers over there in Mississippi at this time here, but nothing too significant here. So let's go ahead and talk about temperatures real quickly here. And temperatures right now, 95 degrees in the metro, 97 in Mena, 93 in El Dorado, 93 as well in Fayetteville, 99 right now in Fort Smith, 97 up there towards Mountain Home at this point here. And that coupled with the heat index at this point, guys, has led to heat indexes about 105 to 110 degrees here. So the heat advisory did a really good job today. 110 right now in Searcy, 101 down there in El Dorado at this time here, also in the metro, 110 right now in Camden, 102 in Texarkana, 108 in Fort Smith at this point. Up there towards Piggott, about 114 right now. Really brutal. I'm not sure if that's an accurate reading or not, but at least 108 up there in Jonesboro at this current time here. So this will change over the next couple of days, guys. We will be getting a break from the heat and the humidity here as the front of boundary begins to make its way down from the north here. And we've been talking about this over the last couple of days here, that this front of boundary is going to bring at least increased chances of showers and thunderstorms across much of Arkansas starting tomorrow and then into the weekend and into much of next week here. So with that being said, before we get into that, we will be going over our Futurecast model run in this video here. So stay tuned for that if you got any questions for the marginal risk or what timing are we looking for tomorrow here. But first off, I'm going to give you guys a tropical update of what's going on at this time here. So tropical depression Fred here, and I talked about this morning, but Haiti and Dominican Republic, the mountain range out there really took a toll on Fred here. Fred was a pretty healthy tropical storm coming in. Once it went over those mountains here, it really took a toll on Fred, and it's really exposed to that drier air here. Let's go ahead and talk about, I was going to turn over to our water vapor imagery here, and you'll really see it up close. And also behind Fred is Invest 95L, which now has a 70% chance of development over the next 5 days here. So we'll go over that here in just a bit. But here's Fred at this current time here, guys. And we'll be honest with you. Looking at Fred right now, you would think Fred is just a thunderstorm at this point. The drier air has really taken a toll on its western side here. So this is what we call an an east-loaded tropical system. Basically means all your convection and all your thunderstorm activity is on the eastern side of the system, while the western side is basically looking at sunny skies. It's basically looking at clear skies right now because of the dry air in place. So as said before here, it's really been struggling over the last couple of hours here. You can see the center of low pressure coming just north of Cuba at this point here. It does have a window of opportunity of strengthening over the next couple of days here as it progresses into the eastern Gulf of Mexico and up into the Florida Panhandle here. But overall, the main impact should stay east of Arkansas at this point here. However, the cone of uncertainty stretches from South Carolina all the way over to central Mississippi here. So if it takes that far western track into Mississippi, that will hit along the cold front that will be stalled out across Arkansas, and that will help to bring increased chances of showers and thunderstorms as we get towards, say, the later part of this weekend into the early part of next week here. So that's something that we'll continue to monitor over the next couple of days here. Mainly, I think the bigger part of this system should stay off towards our east because of the fact the front of boundary is going to lift this system up to the north and to the north and east very quickly here. However, something to monitor over the next couple of days. Also, as I just got through mentioning, we do have Invest 95L back out here as well. Also struggling with the same thing Fred is struggling with, guys. We got a lot of dry air in the Atlantic Basin at this point here, so that's kind of helping to keep the tropical systems down at this time. However, with the MJO that's going to be kicking over the next couple of weeks here, it should help to pick up the tropical development out here towards the Atlantic, also the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico here. But this is Invest 95L at this current time here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this out and show you guys what I'm talking about here. So with Invest 95L at this current time here, 70% shot of development over the next couple of days here. It's going to take the similar path as Tropical Storm Fred did. However, instead of doing what Fred did, instead of turning out to the north and northeast, it actually may have a run to make it into the Gulf of Mexico, because the southeast ridge is going to reassert itself back into the place we get towards next week here. So Invest 95L right now, still a little bit too far out to make calls and say, hey, where's it going to go, etc. At this point, still has a lot of dry air it's got to get through, a lot of shear has to get through as well. However, we will watch this system as we get towards later part of the week into next weekend at this current time here. So let's go ahead and talk about your futurecast model for tomorrow here. And we do have that margin risk that goes for much of northern and central Arkansas for tomorrow here. Isolated thunderstorms will start to develop as we get towards, I would say, lunchtime tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and take you guys out to about, I would say 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here. You'll see exactly what I mean here about that point here. So those are your showers, thunderstorms starting to develop across northern Arkansas at this time here. They're going to start pushing down into central Arkansas as we get towards 3 and 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here. And then as we get towards, I would say, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening here, they should be pushing down into southern Arkansas by the point here. I went to 6 a.m. for some reason. Let's go to 6 p.m. Tomorrow evening here. So it's 6 p.m. tomorrow evening here. Down here in Little Rock, towards Memphis, towards Mena at this time, as the front boundary begins to sink down into central Arkansas and the southern Arkansas here. That's what we'll have to watch and see for the potential of isolated severe thunderstorms tomorrow. Main threat, isolated damaging winds. Tornado threat is very, very low for tomorrow here. I want to stress that it's very, very low. We're not expecting any sort of major severe weather. If that changes, we'll let you guys know. But right now, margin risk stands for much of northern and central Arkansas for tomorrow here. Primary threat is going to be for the potential damaging winds here. So here's your weather highlights for today here, guys. More of the same. Weak cold fronts can be moving down to Arkansas starting late tomorrow and really getting into Saturday and Sunday. If you get behind the front of boundary, you will experience some cooler and drier air. If you're still ahead of boundary, and that's for folks down there in southern Arkansas, that's where the humidity is going to last over the next couple of days here. Increased rain chances as well as we get towards the weekend and the early part of next week. As we talked about before, the margin risk for much of northern and central Arkansas for tomorrow here. Primary threat, isolated damaging winds. And as I said before, we are going to be monitoring the progress of Tropical Depression Fred and also Invest 95L out there in the Atlantic. So here's your 7-day forecast for northern Arkansas here. Strong thunderstorms could be possible as we get towards tomorrow here. High temperatures in the low 90s, overnight lows in the upper 60s here. Front of boundary moves through as we get towards Saturday here, and temperatures are going to drop just a little bit. It's not going to be like a major drop off by this point here, but still not bad for August. High temperatures in the upper 80s, overnight lows back into the 60s here. As we get towards Sunday night up there in northern Arkansas, I would not be shocked to see an upper 50-degree reading, especially in higher elevations here, but that will not last long, guys. The front of boundary is going to wash out, and temperatures are going to rebound as we get towards the middle and late part of the upcoming week here. More of the same for central Arkansas for tomorrow here. The potential of an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm is possible. Main threat, damaging winds. I want to be 100% clear about this. The main threat is damaging winds for tomorrow here. The isolated damaging wind potential. The tornado potential is very, very, very low for tomorrow. Same thing for the hail potential here. However, this will help to bring some beneficial rainfall for us here in Arkansas. As we get towards the weekend, front of boundary moves through as we get towards Saturday. High temperatures in the upper 80s, overnight lows in the 60s here. And then 30% problems as we get towards the early part of next week as well. Now, as we get towards the middle and late part of next week, there is a lot of uncertainty on if we're going to see any impacts from Invest 95L, etc. But at this point, we're not counting in it in the forecast at this time. So high temperatures by that point will rebound back into the low 90s, overnight lows in the 70s here, and more the same for southern Arkansas. 30% pros for tomorrow. Rain chances really increase as we get towards Saturday and Sunday as the boundary begins to sag down in Arkansas. And I want to throw a little bit of a shout out to one of our followers that made this excellent point yesterday. what will happen with Fred. If Fred takes that western track, it will help to push down the front boundary even further down into Arkansas and kind of stall it out along the Arkansas-Louisiana border. So with that being said, rain chances would persist all the way through to at least mid part of next week. So that's why we kind of kept the 30% chances all the way through to Wednesday at this point to kind of account for that potential here. If the front boundary doesn't wash out as quick and stuff like that, we'll have to watch it as we get towards early next week here. But look for at least 30% plus of rainfall by that point. Overnight lows in the upper 60s, rebounding back into the 70s as we get towards the middle part and the late part of next week here. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here on your source for all things Arkansas weather.